Hey everybody, happy Thanksgiving to you. Al Puglisi Trains. What's this? It's not a train. Well, I was going to shoot a Black Friday video, but I don't have any model railroad stuff that I want to sell right now. But you know what? This is my personal car. This is a 2010 Dodge Challenger SRT 8 special edition with the Plum Crazy paint. This is a throwback to the FC7 Plum Crazy from the 1970s. Extremely difficult to find these cars in this color. And this is a 6.1 6-speed manual, and I've decided to sell it. And the reason I'm decided to sell it is I just don't drive it that much. It just sits. Now, obviously, I come down here every couple of weeks and run it and take it out because it's not good for a car to sit, but it lives in this air-conditioned, heated, pneumatically controlled garage, so I thought I'd show it to you. For folks that may not be familiar with these cars, the 6.1 Hemi, in many enthusiasts' opinions, is the Hemi of choice because it's very easy to modify compared to the 6.4, and that's what I've been told. Now, Chip Foose and a lot of the custom makers oftentimes will look for 6.1 Hemis to modify since they are easy to deal with. This is a bone stock car as far as modifications. It has not been reprogrammed. It does have some factory add-ons that are factory accessories, but it has not been reflashed or reprogrammed, or any of that. Let's take a look at some additional goodies. Brand new tires, all four. As far as flaws, there might be a couple somewhere, but I sure can't think of any offhand to show you. The car is just absolutely gorgeous. I can count the times it might have been in the rain, maybe a couple times. The undercarriage is pristine. We'll show it to you. I'm asking $35,000 for it. It is not the most inexpensive car by any means on the internet, but I'm asking top dollar because it is a top car, and it is a hard to find car. And if you want a car that is this clean with a lot of pedigree, which I'm about to show you under the hood, we'll talk more about it. But let's take a look at the interior. Folks, she has every factory option that a manual transmission car can have. She's got, let me talk about this for a second. This 6-speed manual is a Tremec, and the clutch in a Hellcat is much heavier than this clutch. This clutch in this car, the factory clutch, is not too light and it's not too heavy. It is absolutely perfect. It doesn't make your leg feel like you've been at the gym working out. You're not tired when you're done shifting it. It's an easy, fun shifting car. Even my wife has no problem shifting this thing. It is absolutely a joy to shift. The sound system, the kicker sound system in this, I used to be a car stereo specialist for Sanyo Electronics back in the late 80s. In my opinion, I have never heard any other car with as impressive a factory sound system as this thing had. This thing far surpasses the Harman Kardon system and far surpasses the Alpine systems, and that's just my opinion, but it is insane, and it's packed with 70s rock and roll, 70s disco, and 70s soul music that I so love. Of course, it has the factory moonroof, and I noticed a little flaw here. This happens sometimes, just a little crack in the upper trim on that little plastic piece. Other than that, the interior is absolutely impeccable. It has never ever been smoked in. Here's the trunk. As a matter of fact, and here's the subsystem, the subwoofer from the kicker sound system. In fact, folks, I forgot to mention that I put a relatively new, last year, top-of-the-line interstate battery in this. This is a Megatron battery that is absolute top-of-the-line. It was super expensive, and it is trickle charged with a state-of-the-art charger, so you don't need to worry about anything on that end. Boy, that's a big trunk, and those seats pop right down. Here's the back end of the car. Here's the other side of the car. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to show you the undercarriage of the car. Now, the car, like I said, has never been modified, but it does have a factory add-on exhaust from Mopar Performance and a Mopar Performance dealer add-on air intake. Let me show you. Well, folks, I'm underneath the car. Look how clean it is. I told you I can't count how many times. I mean, it's been in the rain maybe just a couple times. It's never been driven in the snow. This car is super clean. So I'm not giving it away. Please, no negative comments. If you're not interested or you want to make a negative comment, do me a big favor and just go elsewhere. But this is my pride and joy, and I think it is a fantastic car at a fair price for somebody serious looking for such an amazing machine. Folks, look at this engine compartment. This is Chrysler royalty. This is not your normal car you're going to find at CarMax or at the car dealership. Again, you know, I'm not giving this car away. Here's one of the reasons. Tom Hoover, I'm sure you Mopar people know who he is. He is he's what Carroll Shelby is to Ford. Tom Hoover is to Dodge and to Mopar. Tom Hoover is the father of the Hemi. And he has signed this car more than once. He actually was an avid model railroader. He was a friend and also a friend of another friend. And I would see him at model train shows and he would sign the car. Buddy Martin. Who's Buddy Martin? Sox and Martin. Ever heard of Sox and Martin? Check them out on the internet. They were arguably one of the most famous drag racing team in the 70s and 60s. They were icons. I've got a lot of the engineers from Chrysler at the Chryslers at Carlisle show. Some have passed away, I believe, signing this before they passed away. Herb McCandles was in Hot Rod magazine. He was one of the fastest 4-speed drivers on the drag strip. Famous. Pete McNoll. What did he do? Well, he was the father of the Slant Six. Mike Purcell, one of the engineers. They said they were out one time and one of the other engineers was at the track with them. They were doing some tests and he was playing some weird music and they were like, "What the hell are you playing? What kind of weird music is this?" And it was the Doors. And they told the guy, "Guess what? We don't want to hear any more of this weird Doors music." So they kind of signed it on the car. It was an interesting story they told. They were known as the Ram Chargers, and they've signed the car. This is not a Hellcat, folks. Again, this is a 6.1 SRT8. It doesn't get the bad mileage a Hellcat might get around town either. And it's a quick car. It's not as fast as a Hellcat, but it's fast. And finally, we're going to look at Mr. Norm. Do some due diligence. Mr. Norm was also an icon in the Mopar world. And this is not just a Mr. Norm decal. It is a signed by Mr. Norm himself. I met the man and he was just absolutely wonderful. The car's been, here you see the factory. This is a factory add-on. This is a Mopar Performance air intake from Mopar. And it has a strut tower brace. But it has never been modified. It has never been touched. It has never been reprogrammed. Folks, let me show you one more thing before we end the video. Also had Tom Hoover and the guys sign underneath the light visor on the inside of the car. Pretty cool, isn't it? These signatures are arguably history in my opinion. Folks, if you're interested in this car, you can contact me at alpug1@verizon.net. Please, no negative smart comments. I'm not giving the car away, but if you know anybody looking for a super special car, this is it. Thanks so much for watching the channel, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend and holiday with your Thanksgiving.